first time I probably realised running was going to be a passion of mine, we probably started way back at junior school. My PE teachers would want me to do the distance races. Bearing in mind the longest stuff at that age was only 600 metres or something. Found myself winning those races quite comfortably, but in a competitive way as well, and I think I realised that I had a competitive edge. The following year I went down to the local club, Brighton Phoenix. Been training there ever since, really. It's just something that I've invested so much time into. I really enjoy that hard work aspect. Perhaps people might think I'm crazy for wanting to work hard or enjoying the feeling of working hard, but I think if something is your passion, then that comes with it. Although my training group has moved slightly away from those hectic, busy club nights, I'll always make sure that I go back down to the club on one thing that really helped me progress as an athlete through those younger years is having a lot of local athletic stars down at the track on a track night. I really valued that as a youngster, being able to kind of see what normal people made possible.
With Archie, we're still not sure what his best event is, whether it's 8 or 15. Obviously his 8 time is a lot better than his 15 time at the moment, but we've always probably seen him more as a 15 athlete. Archie's obviously only 23. He's operating in a very competitive GB middle distance arena at the moment. Obviously in the 15 you've got 3 guys that made the Olympic final last year, and another 4 or 5 are all very close to the qualifying time. And then in the 800, obviously Archie broke through massively last year. He ran 144.7, which ranked him kind of top 35 odd in the world, but still only top 6 in the UK, so 5 guys above him there. So for him, really, it is all about making champs. Paris Olympics is a huge target, and then other teams, European indoors next year, Worlds next year, and then as many teams possible after that. Then when you make teams, then it's about how you go to those champs and start competing to try and win medals. But the first part of it is to get on the team.
Our approach to training is meticulous and very thought out. My coach, Joel, is the person who really drives things. He thinks about things in advance, which means that I don't have to, and allows me to just focus on the emotional side of things and working hard, as opposed to having to organise stuff. I've never been a particularly organised person myself, so it's nice to have someone who's really on the ball to help me do that. I would say my approach to recovery has evolved quite significantly over time. As a junior, there's a lot that you can get away with, and you can let a lot of that talent kind of drag you through. I think when you get to my age now, being 22, 23 years old, you really have to start looking after your body, and that's something I've definitely realised in the last couple of years. And I think it's been the difference in all honesty. I think keeping on top of those recovery aspects in the last couple of years have helped me push forward and make those big jumps. I think every athlete will probably go on a journey with their body, and they'll learn a lot more about what their body needs, whether it's through injuries or through seeing specialists. You find what works for you best, and you make changes to that along the way. I found that recovery was always an area that needed to be improved, and if I was to look back to 7 or 8 years ago, there's probably a lot of stuff that I'm doing now that I would never even considered back then.
Archie, over the years, has very positively addressed a number of injuries. Having an injury when you're young isn't necessarily a bad thing, because you learn a lot about yourself, you learn a lot about your body, and you learn a lot about how to approach kind of injuries going forward, and the importance of managing that process.
When I was 17 and 18, I had surgery on one knee and then fractured the other knee 2 years in a row. These were injuries that occurred kind of October, November time, and both years I somehow managed to get back racing for the summer, and I think I made Great Britain teams at junior level but both those years. Those were definitely journeys that mentally needed to be worked on.
I think he's quite mature anyway, and he's quite pragmatic, so having those couple of injuries quite early helped him in the way he'd approach things going forward, both in terms of managing his training load, managing his recovery.
Getting an injury is really tough for anybody, but when you've made something kind of your profession, you've put that much time and effort into it, and then feeling like you're not able to train for a long period of time, or perhaps not even race, that's really tough.
When he had that injury, we followed a process trying to identify what it was, so we went to a number of physios, all of them said different things. It becomes quite frustrating, and all he wants to do is try and start running again. So in the end, we went to this knee specialist up in London, got the diagnosis, had an operation. From there on in, it was kind of a couple of month process to kind of get him up and running again. But once you know what you got, then it becomes much easier to deal with. Having the ability to do cross training or whatever is always a positive as well. So as long as you can do something and you feel you can maintain your fitness, then I think you can maintain a positive attitude.
No injury is ever as bad as it seems initially. You'll always jump to conclusions and fear the worst. It's completely natural to be a bit negative, a bit pessimistic. I think it's very important to keep calm in those situations.
I think having a target in mind is important and something to work towards, because it kind of enables you to channel that positive, energy.
You can really speed up that recovery process. There's always something that you can do to keep fit by being dedicated and sensible with your lifestyle. Ground yourself, stay level-headed, but back yourself as well. Confidence is a big thing, and you need to generate confidence when you're injured, because believing in yourself allows you to push through tough times a lot easier. I've learnt a lot from the injuries I've been dealt. Each time you pick up small things that you can take forward and learn for next time. You can bank that for next time so that when injuries do crop up again, your toolkit is much bigger.